A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry at Fair Oaks.
Who do you suppose this Mr. X is, Lee?
Search me, Jerry. All I could find out, even by asking Harold, is that Harold's dad told him that Mr. X was very necessary if we were to have a course in aeronautics here at Fair Oaks.
Necessary to a course in aeronautics. Say, you don't suppose he's a mechanic or something like that, do you?
I don't think so, Jerry. They wouldn't be so mysterious about that. You know, I think it's something bigger.
Well, come on, let's walk a little faster.
We can't go tearing through Custis Hall or we'll get a few demerits.
That's right, Jerry. Take it easy.
Oh, Sergeant Alden.
Yes?
Do you have any idea who this Mr. X is?
If I did, do you think I'd give away the show by telling you?
We'll just have to wait, Jerry.
I guess so. Well, here's Custis Hall.
Well, I hope this new excitement doesn't take away from your interest in the riding meet, Jerry.
Oh, no, sir, it won't.
You see, Jerry, this meet means a lot to Fair Oaks. Edson took the trophy back to school last year, and they're pretty confident they'll be able to keep it.
Well, what makes them think so, sir?
Well, because in the first place, they've got a veteran team. The same team that won the trophy last year will be in competition again this year. And we've got practically a green team. You know, we were hit pretty hard by graduation.
Well, gee, don't you think we've got a chance?
Oh, just a moment. The door.
Yes, sir?
You asked me if I thought we'd have a chance, Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't I be a pretty bad coach if I didn't think so?
Oh, Edson may be overconfident.
Oh, I don't think so, Lee. Sergeant Brand, he's Edson's coach, will see to it that the Edson boys will be right in there giving all they've got. Winning the trophy this year gives the school permanent possession, if they win.
Oh, they won't, sir.
What did you say about Edson being overconfident, Lee?
Well, I didn't mean to have it sound that way, Sergeant Alden. I just meant that if it's up to us, I mean the Fair Oaks team, well, you won't have to worry. No, that isn't what I mean either. I mean, well...
You meant you'd give them a real battle, is that it, Jerry?
Yes, sir, that's it. But I just couldn't get the right words to say at the right time.
Don't worry about the words, Jerry. Just take it out in writing to beat Edson.
Oh, here comes Harold Linwell.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Harold.
Say, hurry up. What kept you fellas?
Oh, we came right over.
You must have crawled. Oh, excuse me, Sergeant Alden.
Well, that's all right, Harold. I guess you're on your way over to see Mr. X, too, aren't you?
Yes, sir. And I know who he is, too.
Oh, you do? Well, who is he?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How'd you find out?
Oh, I knew right along. I've heard my dad speak of him many a time.
There you are, Jerry. That's the advantage of being in on the know. Harold isn't running a temperature from curiosity.
That Jim gets farther away instead of us getting closer to it.
Hold your horses,
I
Jerry.
hope you put the same enthusiasm into the riding meet.
Say, this new fella, what's his name?
Dow Campbell?
Yeah, that's him. I heard Eddie Winston telling somebody that he really could ride. Can he, Sergeant Alden?
Well, he's all right, Harold.
Somebody said he was going to ride in a team when we meet Edson.
Where'd you hear that, Harold?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who said it, but it's all around the school.
Gee. Is he, Sergeant Alden?
In whose place?
Oh, they didn't tell that. It's just that he might ride in place of someone.
I wish I knew where that information came from.
Well, it isn't true.
It isn't, is it, Sergeant Alden?
What did I say back in Mac's place, Jerry?
Well, you said that the team would stand as it is.
And that's final. I'll win or lose with the team that's been practicing every day. Somebody is trying to stir up a little trouble, and I'd like to know who it is. Yes? What were you going to say, Jerry?
I wasn't going to say anything, sir.
Sure you were, and I'll bet I know what.
Cut it out, Harold.
If there's something you've got on your chest, Jerry, let's get it off now. I don't want you feeling any way but good on the day of the meet. This rumor may throw the whole team off balance. You know, mental attitude means a whole lot.
Sure. What were you going to say, Jerry?
Nothing, Lee. I just thought of something and started to say it. It wasn't important.
All right, Jerry. But just remember that I said I'll enter the team I have now. I'll win or lose with it.
Pardon me, Sergeant Alden, but why does the meet mean so much?
Why? Well, let's stop a moment and I'll tell you.
Yes, sir?
Did you ever hear of Captain Hunter, boys?
It seems to me I've heard of him, sir. Wasn't he here at Fair Oaks for a while?
Yes, he was. I served under him in the Army, in the regular cavalry. Captain Hunter was an officer and a gentleman. He left the Army to come here to Fair Oaks, and when I had finished my term, he brought me here. The horse I ride, Rascal, belonged to Captain Hunter.
Belonged? You mean...
Captain Hunter was killed 5 years ago.
Oh, gee, that's a shame. And that's why you want this trophy brought here.
That's not all, though, Jerry. Just a couple of months before he was killed, he had the trophy made. A mahogany plaque with a gold oak tree on it. Underneath the oak are 5 gold plates. 2 of those plates have Fair Oaks Military Academy engraved on them. The other 2 have Edson, and 1 is blank. After the meet this year, the name of Fair Oaks Military Academy just has to be engraved on that last plate. Because Captain Hunter would want it that way.
Gee.
Well, you gotta win, Jerry.
Pardon me, Sergeant, but isn't it called the Hunter Craig Trophy?
Well, that's right, Lee. You see, Don Craig was a cadet here when Captain Hunter was football coach. And Captain Hunter put Don off the team for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, I don't get it, sir. If Captain Hunter did that...
Just a moment, Jerry. Later, Don Craig realized that being put off the team had been the best thing in the world for him. He realized that it had helped make a man of him by taking away the thing he liked best. So, Don Craig found out that Captain Hunter was his friend after all. Just as he was a friend to everyone here, cadets and officers at Fair Oaks. Don Craig, each year, comes back for the meet, for all the games between Fair Oaks and Edson. He became Captain Hunter's greatest admirer. So Major Davis put Craig's name with Captain Hunter's on the trophy.
Well, there you are, Jerry. Something to fight for.
Yeah, it makes me feel sort of funny inside.
Well, that's good, Jerry.
Good? Why, I'll be shaking like a leaf when I go out on the field. Just like I did in the circus the first time I did my act.
That's all right. Being nervous shows you're keyed up and ready to go. Well, come on, let's walk on. I've talked too much now.
Dad's waiting for us in the gym, fellas.
Oh, gosh, we forgot all about Mr. Linwell. Yeah, we gotta go.
Okay, boys, I'll see you all later.
Well, why don't you come with us, Sergeant Alden?
No, thanks, Lee. I've already met Mr. X.
Hey, you told us you didn't know.
Oh, not quite, Jerry. I just said that if I did know, I wouldn't give away the show.
Well, we'd better be going. Goodbye, Sergeant Alden.
Goodbye, Lee.
See you tomorrow at practice, sir.
Goodbye, Sergeant Alden.
So long, boys. Oh, Jerry.
Hey, yes, sir?
Don't forget what I said, that I'm going into the meet with the team I have now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Well, come on.
Gee, yes. Dad's been waiting for us a long time. I thought you fellas would never come from Max's place.
Okay, let's go.
Jerry.
Uh-huh.
I think I knew what you were going to say before.
When?
When you started to say something and then stopped short.
I know, too.
What was I going to say?
Well, I think you were going to say that you knew who'd been telling everyone that Bruce was going to ride on the team.
Yeah, that's what I think, too.
Maybe.
You were going to say Red Morrison, weren't you?
Well, yeah.
I thought so. I wonder where he gets off telling things like that. What's he trying to do?
If you ask me, it's just sour grapes with Red Morrison. And with that new fella, too, Bruce Dow Campbell.
I don't know about that, Harold.
Why not?
Just a minute. I kind of think that Bruce hasn't got a thing to do with it. That little argument we had was nothing. It just sort of started.
Well,
here's the gym. Come on.
Okay. We won't talk about the other thing now. I want to see Mr. X.
He's down in the basement.
Yeah, okay, this way.
We can go right down this way. Come on.
Yeah, step on it, Harry.
I'm going as fast as I can, downstairs. Hey, listen.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody pounding.
They're unpacking Mr. X.
Unpacking him? Are you kidding us?
No, honest, I'm not. Here we are. Hey, Dad! Dad!
This way, Harold.
Gee whiz, what is all this?
Mr. X. Come on, get a closer look at him.
Right this way to Mr. X, Jerry and Lee.
holy smoke.
So this is Mr. X.
This is Mr. X, almost uncrated and set up, ready for their first class in aeronautics. Pretty big fellow, isn't he?
Gosh, is it real?
You bet it is, Jerry. Old Mr. X has been through a lot. He was with Bill Layton and me in the aerial circus.
An airplane.
Well, is it real? I mean, does it fly?
Well, I'm afraid that Mr. X's flying days are over, Jerry. He hasn't been in the air for years. But as an aviation guinea pig, he's the best in the world.
Dad and Mr. Layton used it in experiments, didn't he, Dad?
Right. Many's the time we've taken this fellow apart and put him back together again. Oh, climb up there in the cockpit, Jerry.
Gee, may I?
Sure, go right ahead. Here, I'll give you a hand up.
All right.
Oh, boy, a real plane.
Here you go, Jerry. Put your foot on the wing service right here.
Yes, sir.
And up you go.
Whee! Boy.
How's it feel, Jerry?
Swell.
Take hold of the stick, Jerry.
Yeah, this thing that sticks up from the floor?
Uh-huh, that's it.
This is how you steer it, huh?
Well, not quite. The rudder bar has something to do with it. The controls aren't tied in yet, but we'll have them up in a jiffy.
Boy, this is keen. Hey, how do I look, Lee? Like a pilot?
Oh, sure. Just sitting in there makes you an aviator.
I'll have you know, Cadet Phillips, that someday I expect to be an A.
Me too.
Well, you've all got a long way to go. But I think we'll have a lot of fun in the class.
Gee, Dad, I can't tell you how glad I am that you're going to stay with us.
Well, same goes for me, son.
Yes, sir. We're going to be one big happy family.
Say, that reminds me. Red Morrison has signed up for the class, too.
Oh, does a happy family remind you of Red Morrison?
Well, not quite.
Well, I should think you wouldn't.
Say, Mr. Linwell,
Yes, Jerry?
what are all these instruments?
Well, that one, the big one, is the airspeed indicator. The one next to it is the ground speed indicator. Then there's the oil pressure gauge, the gasoline gauge.
How can you see them all at the same time?
Well, you don't, Lee. You just sort of take a quick glance at the instrument board. And after you've been flying for a long time, you can take in the whole board at a glance.
Now, let's see. If I wanted to loop-the-loop, what would I do?
Trying to get the advanced information on the rest of the class, is that it?
Oh, no, I just wanted to know.
Well, you'd pull back on the stick, give her the gun, and when you get to the top of the loop, you'd roll her out and back into a dive, and then out on the level.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. There's more to it than just that.
Before you do any loops in the air, you'll have to do them on the ground.
Say, how about giving me a chance to sit in there? I'd like to see how it feels.
Sure, okay. Hey, give me a hand, will you, Mr.
Right.
Linwell?
Here. Put your foot here on the wing service.
All right.
All right, there you are.
Now, I won't go through it, will I?
Nope, it's strong enough. There you are, come.
Hey, when are the classes going to start?
Probably in a week or so. I was talking with Major Davis this morning.
Hey, give me a hand up, will you, Jerry?
I'll do it, Lee. Takes a little time to learn how to get in without twisting yourself into a knot.
Yeah. Hey, that reminds me. Take a look at the clock, and you'll see we're all 5 minutes past recall. And that, my fine happy family, means demerits, which I can't afford to get right now.
Oh, gee, that's right. Hey, come on, we've got to make a run for it. We've got to get to our rooms because, well, you're right, Jerry. You can't afford to get demerits.
countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, The Outer Limit, by Graham Dorr. We go ahead now in time to 1965. We're on a vast concrete runway set in the desert of the Southwest. A giant metal ship stands before us, prow pointed for the stars. And in 5 minutes, the signal will flash and it will tear up through the atmosphere to the outer limit.
Attention! Attention! Clear field for takeoff! Clear field!
5 minutes, Steve.
Right. Warm her up, Charlie.
Turn her over!
I want to go over procedure again, Steve.
Don't worry, I got it straight.
We'll just make sure.
Okay, I take her up on jets to 50,000, then I cut in the rockets.
No lower, or your tail blast will burn out 3 counties.
I climb 4 minutes on rockets, then start maneuver tests.
Remember that, no more than 4 minutes. This ship isn't like those strato rockets that you've been testing. She's the first one built for outer space. If she works, you can go clear to the moon.
If I'd have known, I'd have brought my toothbrush.
Not this trip. Now get this, Steve. You've got power there to clear the Earth's gravitational field, but remember, after you cut in the rockets, you've only got 10 minutes fuel. If you go beyond the outer limit and don't save fuel for the return, you won't get down again, ever. You'll drift out into space. Get that now. 10 minutes fuel.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, this project is a lot more important than that cosmic ray bomb that they're testing out in the Pacific tonight.
Well, the Security Commission brass doesn't think so. I don't see any undersecretaries under anything.
Don't you worry, Steve. In the long run, our ship will make the CR bomb back-page stuff. But in the meantime, it's just as dangerous. Now, remember, half the principles in this ship are pure theory, slide rule stuff. If anything goes wrong, we may have to scrape you off the landscape with a soup spoon.
You have a charming sense of humor.
Here's what I'm getting at, Steve. We're risking your neck in this test. Anything blows, we don't want to have the next man pull the same boner. So keep your mic open. Keep talking. If anything goes wrong, we want to know exactly why. And we won't be able to ask you. Let us know before you pull every switch. Before you do anything. Got that? Even if you only have to blow your nose.
All right, get those fuel lights away.
Well, I guess that's about all, Steve.
Hey, that reminds me. If Mary calls, I'm just up on a milk run. I didn't tell her today was it.
How is Mary?
She's okay, but she's due about now, and I don't want her to get nervous.
Hey, I didn't know the baby was that close. Steve, you know, I really ought to be sending a single man on this job.
What, and cut me out of a soft paycheck? Forget it, Hank. You know you can't get anybody else who can take 15 G's acceleration when those rockets cut in.
Yeah, I know. It's time, Steve.
Yeah. I'll see you later. Don't worry, Hank. I'll sweat for both of us. Button her up, Charlie. So long, Hank.
So long. We'll give you the light from control.
X2 JTR to control. Are you there yet, Hank?
Okay, Steve. I'm ready to go.
Mr. Hanson.
Ready on the radar, Sergeant?
Check.
Mr. Hanson, you better see this.
What is it, Elsie?
Message sent up for Steve. Mrs. Weston just left for the hospital.
What? Hello, Steve.
Yeah.
Stand by a minute.
Shall I hold it up, Mr. Hanson?
Yes. No, wait just a minute. It's too late now.
You going to tell her?
Well, maybe he's got enough to worry about.
Hey, what's holding us up, Hank? Something on your mind?
No, there's nothing, Steve. I just wanted to say good luck.
All right, Charlie. Give him the light. All right, Steve, I'm reading you clear.
I'm at 20,000. Airspeed 600. It's running fine. Soundproofing works. There's a 3-degree waiver in the AGY pressure.
Got that, Charlie?
Check. Dead center on radar, Mr. Hanson.
50,000 now. I'm cutting loose the port jet. Now the starboard. Now I'm off jets. Airspeed dropping. Now I'm opening the rocket ports. The switch sticks a little, Charlie. Oxy-alcohol pressure 350. All right, now I'm advancing the ignition key. Here goes rocket 1.
Steve, you all right?
Yeah. Feels like somebody slugged me with a sledgehammer. Airspeed now 1,200. Here goes number 2. She's okay, Hank. Running like a Swiss watch. She's okay.
Hello, Steve. Elapsed rocket's time is now 4 minutes. What's your altitude? Over to you.
The speed 4,400, still climbing. Altitude 297 miles.
All right, you're at the outer limit. Level off for maneuver tests. You've got exactly 6 minutes fuel left.
I'm starting at 3-degree left bank. She's a little sluggish. There, it's all right. There's a low vibration somewhere. Maybe the cockpit cover. My view screen's a little fogged. Now I'm straightening out.
5 minutes fuel left.
Now I'm starting at 3-degree right. Hey,
What's the matter? What's wrong?
There's something up here. Something shining.
What are you talking about?
There's something above me, Hank. I'm going to chase it.
Steve, you're at the outer limit now.
I can see it plain now.
Now, Steve, don't go any higher. You've only got 4 minutes left. You've only got...
I'm getting static. I can't hear you, Hank. It's dead ahead now. I'm going to make a pass at it and get a good look. Here goes. Hey, it's swerving to meet me. It's dead ahead now. Look out, it's dead ahead.
Hello, Steve. Steve, come in.
9 minutes fuel gone.
There's still no sign
Hello.
of radar.
Hello, Steve. What happened? Charlie, get the crash squad out. Tell the Army squadron to alert their search plane.
Right.
9.5 minutes gone.
Hello, Steve. Steve, listen to me. What's happened? Where the devil is he? Hello. Come in, Steve. Steve, come in. Hello, Steve. Hello, Steve.
10 minutes.
Steve.
That's the end of the fuel.
How long has it been now?
10 hours, Mr. Hanson.
Nothing more on radar, Sergeant?
Screen's blank.
Colonel Carulli called in. The search planes are back. Couldn't find anything.
Should be some trace.
He couldn't have bailed out, could he?
You don't hit the silk at 4,400 miles an hour. We either went past the outer limit and ran out of fuel, or something blew, and we'll find the pieces scattered from here to the coast. Why does it have to be the best man? Always the best man. Charlie, we got to figure out what was wrong.
Right.
Something must have blown.
All right, I'll call him. Goodbye. Mr. Hanson, there's a message from Northside Hospital for Steve.
Well, what is it?
Mrs. Weston is fine. It's a boy.
Oh, thank you, Elsie. It's a boy, Charlie.
Yeah.
Fine. It's a boy. We didn't even know that she went to the hospital. How am I going to tell Mary that?
No, it wasn't your fault, Mr. Hanson. The ship was tested.
Yeah, we'll build another, and some other flying fool will shoot past the outer limit into space. Well, I'm getting old, Charlie. You can remember when I used to take them up myself. Now I've got to send other men.
Look, it's a job, Mr. Hanson.
Now I'm afraid. Every time I hear a jet go off, I jump. Every time I have to send somebody up in a new model, I start to sweat.
Mr. Hanson.
Yeah?
I think I've got something on the radar.
No flights scheduled in, are there, Elsie?
No, the whole day's cleared.
Coming in behind us. Here he comes over the building.
Yeah. What crazy jockey is buzzing the field like that? Is that an Army plane, Charlie?
No, I can't see. Here he comes back again. I know that engine. Yes, it's Steve.
That's impossible.
Look, that's his ship.
It can't be.
He's circling back for landing.
Charlie, clear the field.
He's coming back in. reason there's not another ship in the world that looks like that. I tell you, it's gotta be Steve.
Thank God. All right, sit down over there, Steve. Quicker we get this done, the quicker you get over to see Mary and the baby. Elsie, give the order to check and refuel the rockets. I don't want anybody in here till I get Steve's reports. Bury any calls. All right, Steve, let's have it. What the devil happened to you?
Hank, that cosmic ray bomb. Does it still go off tonight?
What are you talking about? Straighten out, Steve. Where have you been for the last 10 hours?
Listen, Hank, there's something more important.
Now, come on. I've got to get a report on the screen to Washington, so let's have it, will you? I've got to know how you stretched 10 minutes fuel to keep you in the air for 10 hours.
One thing before
now,
I talk.
Look, Steve.
Will you have the Geiger men run over the ship before they refuel?
What did you run into?
So help me, Hank, I don't know. We better check and make sure it isn't radioactive.
Elsie, add a Geiger report on the standard check. Steve, maybe we better have the medics look you over, too.
No, I'm all right. They said I'd be all right.
They? Look, son, I know you've had a tough time, but we've had this field on the alert for 10 hours, boy. One of the Army boys cracked up looking for you, and he's hurt bad. So let's have the story. Let's have it straight.
I don't know how to tell you, Hank. Hank, I saw something up there.
At 300 miles?
I chased something up there, Hank, and I caught it.
Now, don't hand me that, Steve.
Listen! I was cruising along, just starting the right bank, when I spotted something. Must have been going about half my speed. It was egg-shaped and smooth. I made a pass at it, and I came back for another, and then there was a humming sound.
Humming?
Sort of a vibration. And then I blacked out. I was headed straight for it at 4,400 miles an hour. I thought it was going to be the biggest smash since Hiroshima. And listen, Hank, is there a drink in that bottle?
Yeah, sure. Well? What happened?
Hank, I came to inside their ship.
Steve, this whole thing has been a devil of a strain on you. I'm going to call Major Donaldson from the Army base, ask him to sit in.
The psychiatrist? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let him run his tests. He'll tell you I'm not kidding. Because, Hank, unless I miss my guess, I've just been tipped off to the way the world ends.
You should be getting drowsy now. Count backwards from 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 6.
He's under. Now we attach the head plate electrodes and the cortical pickup. Look up for that wire, Mr. Hanson. 3.0 setting and 31.3. Now, throw that switch, Mr. Hanson. I have to start him off by suggestion. All right, Steve. You're in your ship now. You're in the rocket.
Rocket?
You're in the rocket. You're in the rocket, and you've just sighted something strange.
Now I'm starting at 3° right.
What's that?
Hey, there's something up there. Something shining.
His memory pattern. We're picking it up electronically.
Something above me, Hank. I'm going to chase it.
Right through the audio circuits.
Getting static. I can't hear you, Hank.
This is where we lost contact with him.
I'm going to make a pass at it. Hey, it's swerving to meet me. It's dead ahead now. Look out. It's dead ahead.
Now what?
This is where he blacked out. No telling how long. Minutes or hours.
What's that noise?
I don't know.
Where? How did I get here? What? Who are you?
Is he seeing things?
Galactic Patrol. What's that?
Well, what are they saying, Steve? What are they saying?
It's about nuclear fission. They know about it. They know the danger of it. Long ago, they had wars that almost destroyed them. Finally, they learned. Now they've outlawed war.
Go on, Steve.
They patrol space. When their detector picks up an atomic explosion, they send a patrol. They've been observing Earth, and they found wars and rumors of wars.
What are they going to do?
They've quarantined us.
Quarantine?
They've isolated all Earth because we're infected with a communicable disease. Because we don't know how to control ourselves yet. Until we learn, we'll be a menace to the whole universe.
What is this nonsense?
Quiet. How are they going to do it, Steve?
Well, they've spread out a layer here of I don't know what to call it. It's all around the Earth. It's miles deep. And when there's an atomic explosion on Earth, the radioactive particles will drift up to this layer and set off a chain reaction that'll go around the world in microseconds. And that's the end. Yes? Yes, I understand. I've got to bring back the warning. You're going to put me back in my ship to bring the warning.
Now what?
Blacked out again. I guess that's all.
What does all that mean?
It's what he remembers.
You don't think that really happened?
No. Narco-psychometry circuits produce what he remembers. Just means that Steve believes this happened.
No, I don't like to see this. I've seen too many top pilots snap. Steve is the best I've known. How bad do you think he is?
Well, frankly, outside of the presence of this well-organized hallucination, there are no signs of unbalance. May not be too serious. If he had a more plausible story, I'd be inclined to believe him.
Warning. Hank.
It's all right, boy.
Did you hear it, Hank? Do you understand?
Oh, sure. We've been quarantined.
Now, let me give you something to make you sleep, Steve.
But don't you understand? They fixed it so that if we set off one more nuclear explosion, we will have had it.
Of course. Now, don't roll your sleeve down.
You don't believe me?
Now, take it easy, Steve.
But the tests are setting off the cosmic ray bomb, Hank, tonight. What time is it?
11:20.
It's scheduled for midnight. Hank, we've got to stop that bomb.
Let Donaldson give you the hypos.
You got to believe me. I saw them. I got the warning. If we touch off the Q-bomb tonight, we'll be the biggest galactic 4th of July of all time. The whole Earth will go up like a Roman candle. April 10th, 1965, the end.
Look, Steve, you better calm down now. Don't you want to see Mary and the baby? You've got a new son, remember?
That's just it. I want to see my son. I want him to live. If the bomb goes off, Hank, we've got to stop it.
Mr. Hanson, I think we'd better get over to the base hospital.
Hank, you got to believe me.
Sure, Steve. Maybe there's something to it. Look, it's out of our hands now, Steve. I'll put it in a report, shove it into Washington in the morning.
In the morning? There won't be any morning, Hank. You've got to call Washington now. Get the head of the Security Commission and postpone the test.
Now, you know I can't do that. My neck would be out a mile. Besides, this is 1965, not 45. 20 countries have the atomic bomb now. What's the use of stopping just this one? The rest will keep right on popping them off.
We'll have to call an international conference. Can't you understand, Hank? The first one that goes off finishes us. It's the end. They've given us a quarantine warning.
Steve, I think you'd better go with us to the base hospital.
Look, Steve, we can call up for a detail if we have to.
All right, I'll go with you. You don't need a straitjacket.
That's the way, Steve. You'll probably feel better by morning. Let's go.
Tomorrow I'll drive you over to the hospital to see Mary and the kid.
Sure.
Look at the ship under the floodlights. Pretty, huh? You'll be flying her again soon, Steve. Don't worry.
Yeah, I guess so. What's she doing out on the line? They refuel her?
Yeah, we got Clausewitz coming in tomorrow from Denver for another test. Figured we'd give you a day off.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
Steve.
Hey, go.
Come on, Donaldson. Steve! Steve, come back here.
He's heading for the rocket.
That's crazy. Steve! Get down off of there, Steve! We can't get at him now. That hood is armor glass.
Hey, he's waving.
It's control. The radio. Come on.
I should have gotten help.
Come on. The radio is still hooked up. Hello, Steve.
Listen to me, Hank. You got to call Washington now.
Look, Steve, come out of the rocket.
I'll call my men, Henson.
Don't try anything, Hank. They refueled the rocket for tomorrow.
Take it easy, Steve.
Listen, you know what'll happen if I fire the rocket tubes down here?
Steve, don't, please.
It'll burn out every building for 5 miles. All of us in one big blast.
What do you want, Steve?
You got to stop that bomb. You got to call Washington now.
They won't believe me.
You make that call or I cut in the rocket. I mean it, Hank. You hook my screen to yours in parallel. I want to see exactly what you're doing.
All right. Just don't fire those rockets.
Get going, Hank. You got 12 minutes to make that call and stop the bomb.
All right. I'm making the parallel hookup now. Donaldson, you think he'll really blast?
I don't know. Up to now, I'd almost say it was normal, but this Hanson, he's liable to do anything.
Steve, there, you getting it on your screen?
Yeah. Now put that call through.
All right.
Operator.
Visit screen to Washington.
The visit screen circuits are busy, sir. If you try again in half an hour.
This is a Security Commission priority. Break in. Get me a line.
Just a moment, please.
10 minutes, Hank.
Listen, Steve, I'm trying.
Ready to take your call, sir.
Washington Security Commission 3. Urgent. I want Undersecretary Herbert Ames.
Washington 3. One moment, please.
Hurry, will you, please?
One moment, please.
Chicago.
San Marco calling Washington visit screen 3. Urgent.
Washington 3. One moment, please.
What time is it, Donaldson?
11:51.
Do you think he'll fire those rockets?
He might.
Washington.
Go ahead, San Marco.
Visit screen 3. Mr. Herbert Ames.
That is a coded exchange. I cannot accept your call without clearance.
Listen, Washington, put this through. This is Mr. Hanson of Hanson Rockets Incorporated at San Marco Air Base. This is a priority call. I'm coded.
One moment, please. I will check your code number.
Get it through, Hank. That bomb goes off at 12.
Will you be reasonable, Steve?
Your call has cleared, San Marco. Washington visit screen 3. Herbert Ames.
This is your call, sir.
Security Commission, Ames. Oh, hello, Hanson.
Listen, Ames. You've got to get me the chief.
You kidding? He's at the test control room.
Yes, I know, but get him for me.
Hey, what's up? You look lousy. Or is it a bad circuit?
There's no time, Ames. I've got to get him before the test. It's about the ray bomb.
I can't take the responsibility.
Get it through, Hank, or I blast.
Hey, what's going on there?
Ames, my project has a high enough rating. This is a priority A call.
What? Well, it's your neck. Okay, I'll try to get him for you. He's in the control room, though. You'll have to switch off your screen and speaker and go on earphones. Too much going on in there. Security, you know.
You hear that, Steve? I've got to cut the screen.
All right. 8 minutes, Hank.
Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. This is Hanson at San Marco. No, sir. Priority A request to cancel the bomb test. No, look, I'm serious. I'm deadly serious. We sent the X-2JTR up today to the outer limit, and we uncovered evidence. Yes, on the automatic instruments. What's that? No, this possible chain reaction. No, I can't tell you the whole story. There isn't time. Yes, I'll bring the readings into Washington in the morning. You've got to postpone the test till you see them. Yes, I understand that. I understand about the press. I'll take complete responsibility for this. What's that? Look, I've worked on contracts for the Commission for 10 years now. Yes, I have complete confidence in my information. You can record that. All right. I'll call you back immediately. Goodbye.
Hank?
He's agreed to cancel. The ray bomb won't go off.
Thank God.
All right, Steve. You can come down out of the ship.
There he comes. He's opening up.
All right, Steve. Come on down out of the ship.
Sure, Hank.
Hank, I was scared. I was plain scared.
All right, easy now. It's all over. Bomb won't go off.
Thank God. Hey, look. I want to see Mary and the baby. Can you get me transportation now?
Hey, wait a minute. It's almost 12. They won't let you in the hospital now.
I want to see the baby.
Well, sure you do, but you've been under strain. I've got a shot here for you, Steve. Give you a good night's sleep. All right. Roll up your sleeve.
Sure.
Now, that'll make you sleep. Sergeant will find you a bed.
Come on, Mr. Weston. Well, good night, Hank. I am kind of beat. It's been a tough night.
Sure has. Thought for a minute he was going to blast those rockets and send us all to Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Quite a stunt getting the ray bomb test called off.
It isn't called off.
But the call?
Ames couldn't get the chief. I was talking to a blank screen. Bomb goes off in a couple of minutes.
Oh. Poor Steve. He's one of the best.
He was the best. 1 in 10 million.
Some story of this, poor guy. For a while, he almost had me believing that quarantine. That's a very common delusion. The end of the world.
Last night, never saw the stars so bright.
Better be getting in. That wind is cold.
Bomb goes off in 30 seconds. Poor Steve.
You know, Hanson, there's just one thing.
Yeah?
It's outside my field, but I'm curious. How did he keep that ship in the air for 10 hours with only 10 minutes fuel?
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you The Outer Limit by Graham Dorr, as adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Joseph Julian, Wendell Holmes, Joe DeSantis, Bob Hastings, James Dukas, and Freddie Chandler. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
You don't have to stop whatever you're doing to listen to your radio. Though you may have a lot to do whatever you've got to do. NBC will still get through with music and drama, a life panorama. NBC's always got something brewing. Listen and you'll agree that there's always a smile from a twist of the dial to radio. NBC.
On the magic island of the South Seas, time is very precious. The mad scientists who call themselves Euclideans measure time in seconds because they are too busy to use minutes. When Mrs. Gregory, Captain Bradford, and Jerry Hall landed the Gregory yacht at the island and found Mrs. Gregory's long-lost little daughter, Joan, they thought the idea of putting such value on time was ridiculous. Now time has become very precious to those on board the captive Gregory yacht. It is just after 8 o'clock at night. Captain Tex Bradford has been gone 15 minutes, trying to swim out through the ring of fog and gas surrounding the island and release one of the little homing pigeons on which so much depends. A sudden electrical storm sweeps over the weird island as Mrs. Gregory, Jerry, and Joan huddle in the radio cabin on the yacht.
This is a terrible storm, Mother. Are you not glad your boat is safely moored to the pier here now?
Oh, this storm wouldn't hurt the boat, Joan. We came through a couple of them on the way down here.
On Euclidia, we hardly noticed such a storm, as all the quarters are soundproof. But on this boat, it seems very terrifying.
You will learn to love the natural things, Joan, dear. Things that are merely terrible in a natural way, if we ever get off this horrible island.
Well, I'm going back to the engineer's quarters and wait for Tex there. I'll let you know the minute there's any news.
You will be careful, will you not, Jerry? I would not like anything to happen to you.
Hear that, Mrs. Gregory? Joan's getting kind of stuck on me.
I am not stuck at all. You see, I am quite free to move at will.
You mustn't mind Jerry, my dear. His expressions are a little puzzling at times.
But, Jerry, one time you say I am stuck up when I am not sticking up on anything. And now you say I am stuck on you when I am not even near you.
Oh, I ain't got time to teach you any better now. I got to get back on duty where I belong.
Oh, Jerry, the storm is bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I can make it all right. See you as soon as Tex gets back.
Will Jerry be quite safe, Mother?
Yes, Joan. He has only a few feet to go along the deck to the engine room. There's not enough wind to make the footing dangerous.
I am glad of that. Jerry is a foolish boy, but he is also a nice boy. And I should not like anything to happen to him.
Joan, this storm, all that lightning flashing around the island, what effect does that have on all the electrical devices the Euclideans maintain?
I'm afraid I do not understand just what it is you wish to know.
This magnetic ring of fog around the island. Will the magnetic force be maintained through this electrical storm?
Yes, Mother. Euclidia has been struck by lightning during many storms, but G47 and his assistants have developed some means of carrying the lightning off without harm to the island or instruments on it.
Yes, of course they would have protected themselves. Then even in this storm, Tex will have the danger of the magnetic ring, as well as the gas.
Oh, I was stupid about that. I might have told you.
Might have told me what? Is there something different about the magnetic ring in a storm?
Not the magnetic ring, but the gas ring. The rain will so dilute the gas, which is very soluble in water, that there will be little or no danger from the gas.
Oh, that's wonderful, Joan. I only wish Tex knew that. It would save him the trouble and danger of trying to swim underwater beyond his endurance.
I think the clever captain will have figured that out for himself. I remember he said he was sure the gas would not be effective in water.
Then he should remember that and swim on the surface.
I think so, Mother. And with the rain, he would swim on the surface without danger of being seen.
And Tex can swim and float for hours. Oh, what a relief that is, my dear. The storm came up about 10 minutes ago, when Tex had been gone about 5 minutes.
He would, of course, swim beyond the ends of the piers before he released the pigeon.
Yes, of course he would.
And the piers are 200 feet long. Then it would take him some time to get the pigeon safely out of the celluloid swimming suit, and he would start back after discarding the oxygen tank. He has hardly had time to return, Mother.
You're right, dear. And he wouldn't hurry back. In fact, he would stay beyond the end of the pier as long as he was swimming easily and naturally, because his return might attract attention. But did he get out safely?
Oh, I think you need not worry about that. The alarm would have sounded before this if he had not safely passed the protection ring.
But that storm, the lightning flashing. Look, Joan. It lights up this room as if it were day, and through that tiny port. What if lightning strikes the island while the captain's swimming through the magnetic fog? Oh, Joan, what of that?
Mother, that is a terrible thought. I know the scientists use the magnetic ring of fog in some way to carry off the lightning and ground it into the water.
Then it's just as if Tex was swimming through the very thing that had been built to handle the discharge. Just as if you held a lightning arrestor in your hand during a storm.
I'm afraid that would be it, Mother.
Oh, Tex. Why doesn't he hurry? I'm going to call Jerry back from the engine room again. He may have heard or seen something of the captain.
No, Mother. Jerry has his place there, waiting for the captain. And we have our places here, waiting for them both. It would not please the captain and Jerry if we did less than our duty.
Joan, you're the most wonderful daughter in the world. You have more courage than your mother.
What is that? The signal to submerge. Mother, this is going to be something of danger and terror, I think.
To submerge? You mean to submerge the island?
Yes, Mother. I told you the island could be submerged so that a boat could pass over the top of it.
But, Joan, do you realize what that means? This yacht is tied to the island, this boat. What will happen to us? And Tex is swimming out there somewhere. Joan, what?
There is the location signal. 5 strokes on that gong after the signal to submerge. That means at this pier, Pier 5, where this yacht is held fast.
But what exactly can that mean? Is it possible to submerge only one section of the island?
No, I am not sure I understand that signal. Unless... Yes, it could be. There is an anchorage lock at this pier. I think your yacht is to be drawn inside the island and submerged.
This yacht submerged?
Yes, floated within a lock under the island floor, and then submerged with the island.
What did that mean, Joan?
The submerging operation has begun. This boat is now being lowered between the piers.
But, Joan, we'll drown. This boat can't be submerged.
It will not be submerged as you mean it, Mother. It will be...
Hey, Mrs. Gregory, do you know what's going on?
Why, Joan says they're going to submerge this yacht.
Yeah, the water's going down right now in the space between the piers. They're going to take the yacht into a lock under the island someplace.
But Tex, he isn't back, Jerry.
Well, no, Mrs. Gregory, he isn't.
Oh, Jerry, that is very bad.
Well, can't he get back now, Joan?
No, Mother. Unless the captain could have been within the slip formed by the two piers here, he could not get in without being seen. The ends of the piers are now joined by watertight gates to allow the space between them to be used as a lock.
I'm going out there and try to find Tex.
Oh, no.
No, you're not.
Why, Jerry.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Gregory. I don't mean to be rude, but you're not going out there.
Yes, I am, Jerry. I can swim. And if Tex is out there in that water alone, hopelessly shut off from the island, I'm going after him. He won't know what's going on here. He'll be afraid to return for fear of giving away the escape of the pigeon.
Now, look here, Mrs. Gregory. Captain Bradford is in command of this boat. He gave me my orders, and I'm going to carry him out.
Jerry is right, Mother. The captain would want you to stay here.
This is my yacht. I'm going after
Then
Tex.
you'll have to lick me to do it, Mrs. Gregory. I'm sorry to act like this, but orders are orders. And the last thing the captain told me was to keep you on board if I had to tie you in a chair. And I'm going to do it.
Jerry, you're doing what you think is right. But the storm is over. And I'm going to swim out there while I've still got a chance.
You have no chance now, Mother. These locks empty very rapidly. And by now the water is not even covering the lock gate at the end of the pier. You could not swim out. And if you tried to walk out to the end of the pier, you would be stopped by a guard.
But Tex out there, how will he get back?
Now, look here, Mrs. Gregory. You've got to buck up and face this thing. We don't dare let anyone see us worried about a thing. They don't suspect yet that Tex swam out with that pigeon. And if old G47 got wise to that, he might do something that, well, so Tex couldn't ever come back.
Joan, what do you think about it? I don't seem to think very clearly where Tex is concerned.
Jerry is right, Mother. We must act as if nothing had happened to frighten us. We will be quite safe, of course, when the yacht is taken inside the island. It will float in the submarine lock just as safely as it does here. But if we act nervous, it could only be for one reason, that we were worried about someone not on board.
That's the idea, Joan. And as long as G47 thinks Tex is with us, he'll find some way to get out of the water and back on the island without the Euclideans knowing what he was doing.
Well, at least we can go out on deck and see what's happening.
I think that would be all right. Do you not think so, Jerry?
No, I don't. I told the skipper and the engineer to stay under cover, and I think we'd better do the same thing. If they see us on deck without Tex, they'll know he isn't aboard.
Oh, I suppose you're right. But it seems so terrible to just sit here and do nothing while this boat is being taken inside the island. How will Tex get back to us? How will he know what's happened?
I guess he'll figure that quick enough, all right. When he finds the gate closed at the end of the pier, then he'll have to swim around to one of the other piers and walk right up on the island.
Oh, that will be bad, Jerry. Then G47 will know the captain has been in the water, and it will take them only a few minutes to discover that a pigeon has been sent.
Oh, that doesn't matter. The pigeon's gone, and I'm willing to chance it getting to Johnson's boat. If only Tex is safe.
I'll feel a lot better when he's back on board with us. Gee, there's Tex now.
Come in.
Oh, it's G47.
It is I.
What do you want here?
I merely wanted to assure you there was no danger. Your yacht will be safely taken into a submarine chamber on the island, and all on board will be quite safe.
Then what?
Then the island will be submerged completely.
Oh, Mother, the island, it will all be submerged.
You mean there won't be anything left above the water?
Not a thing. Nothing for a man to hold on to or walk upon, for example. But, of course, as you are all on board, you have nothing to fear.
No, we have nothing to fear.
Precisely. However, if one of your party was absent, say, out swimming around the ends of the piers...
Yes. Suppose. What then?
The unlucky person would soon drown, swimming around where this island once was.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents The Adventures of Superman. Today we begin an exciting new story. A story that endangers the most carefully guarded secret of Superman's life, his double identity.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, I know a lot of fellas and girls who are all hepped up about how keen Kellogg's Pep tastes at breakfast. They say it's a super terrific dish, or a super duper, or just plain super. But no matter how you say it, it all comes down to the fact that if you're hep to Pep, you're hep to some super delicious eating. Why, just one glimpse at those crispy whole wheat flakes will tell you that. They're tender and delicate and toasted golden brown. And flavor? Why, Kellogg's Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal. It's loaded with sunny, golden toasted flavor that sure tickles your taste. Every spoonful calls for more. Fact is, gang, Kellogg's Pep is really on the sunbeam. Makes breakfast so terrific, you'll want to eat hearty. You don't want to leave one single flake in your bowl. And that's the right angle, gang, especially nowadays when the cereal grains, like the whole wheat and Pep, are being sent to fellas and girls overseas. So get hep to Pep, gang. When Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, don't waste it. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and polish off every bit you pour out. Pass the word along to the rest of your family, too. Just remember, eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
And now, the adventures of Superman. Following his spectacular victory over the wrecks of Bolomar, Superman, in his guise of the mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent, returned to the Daily Planet, where he received a startling surprise. In his office, he found a square-set, square-faced man with a heavy mustache waiting for him, a black derby hat and a rolled umbrella across his knees. As Kent entered, the stranger arose. Stretching out his hand, he inquired,
Mr. Kent? Yes? Mr. Clark Kent? That's right. Who are you? I'm happy to make your acquaintance, Superman. What? I said I'm happy to make your acquaintance, Superman. I've come a long way for the pleasure of meeting you. But now, my dear chap, no need to be alarmed. Your secret's quite safe with me, for the time being, at least.
Oh, wait a minute. There must be some mistake.
No, sir. No mistake at all.
But you called me Superman.
Come, you're not denying it, are you?
I don't quite understand this. Just who are you?
My card, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Herbert Calkins, St. John's Wood, London, Southwest.
Exactly. And now, sir...
Wait a minute, you're...
Yes?
Why,
Go on. Mm-hmm. You were about to read the printing under the inked-out line in the corner.
Oh, how could I do that? Whatever was printed there is hidden by a heavy line of ink.
You think fast, Mr. Kent.
What do you mean?
I mean that as Superman, you have X-ray vision. You can easily see what's covered by the ink. Oh, well, no hard feelings. I should have known you'd be clever enough to escape that little trap.
Look here, Mr. Calkins, this little joke has gone far enough. I don't know what you're here for, but I'm really quite busy, so if you'll state your business...
Why, may I suggest we talk over dinner?
What?
I happen to know quite an excellent cafe near here, the food's capital, and there's no beastly hubbub. We can talk undisturbed.
Thank you, but can't we talk right here? I don't want to seem rude, but I'm really quite busy.
I promise that you'll find what I have to say more interesting and far more important than any routine matters here. Mr. Kent?
All right, I'll have dinner with you, Mr. Calkins.
I thought you would. Shall we go? Capital dinner, eh? What?
Yes, very good.
Cigar with your coffee?
No, thanks. I never smoke.
No drink?
No, I never drink either.
Neither does Superman.
Does that make me Superman?
That and quite a few other things.
Oh?
I presume You still insist that you were unable to read the inked-out line on my card?
Do we have to go into that again?
It'd save a good deal of time if you admitted your identity to me at once. But since you won't, I'll tell you, quite unnecessarily, I'm sure, that the inked-out line read Scotland Yard.
Oh, yes, of course. You're the famous Scotland Yard detective, the fellow they call the super sleuth over there.
Oh, I was with Scotland Yard for 30 years.
Of course.
Until the day the war ended. Then I decided my country could spare me and I could devote all my time to you, Mr. Kent.
To me?
Yes. You see, I was becoming quite bored. Most cases, difficult as they appeared at first, were rather easily solved. Some of them took more time and patience than others, that's all. But in the end, they all came out alike because practically all criminals, clever as they think themselves, make one little mistake. For me, it became merely a process of ferreting out that little mistake, then getting my man.
I see, but...
I'm coming to that.
Well, what does it all have to do with me? I'm not a criminal.
I'm coming to it. As I say, I became bored at Scotland Yard. I wanted a mystery that would really test my mettle. Well, now I found it.
From what you said before, I gather this mystery has something to do with me.
It has everything to do with you, sir. You see, I decided long ago that Superman must have a double identity.
Oh?
My research, and very careful research it was, sir, led me to the inescapable conclusion that Superman and Clark Kent are one and the same person.
Me, Superman. Oh, you're very flattering, Mr. Corkin.
Not at all. You see, my research showed that the Metropolis Daily Planet alone had some contact, official or unofficial, with Superman.
Well, couldn't that be coincidence?
Yes, it could be coincidence, but I was convinced it wasn't. And that made sense, too, you know. Superman devotes his great powers to the cause of tolerance and justice. Where could he be in a better position to discover where he was needed than on a great newspaper?
But I still don't see how that...
Quiet, old chap. There's somebody coming over
Where?
here.
Oh, the waiter.
Just as well be careful. More coffee, gentlemen. I'll have a little.
Yes, sir. You, sir? No, none for me, thanks.
Well, thank you, my man. That'll be all.
Very well.
Now, Mr. Kent, to continue.
I really don't think it's necessary, Mr. Corkins.
You mean you're willing to admit you're Superman?
Nothing of the sort. Frankly, the whole thing is too... Well, it's too outlandish to waste more time on.
But look here now.
I've got to get back to the office. We're putting out an extra edition on the Bolomar affair. So if you'll excuse me, Mr.
Now,
Corkins...
wait, please. I notice your story on that little affair scooped the whole world.
Well, I was just lucky, I guess.
Oh, don't be so modest. Isn't it because you were right on the scene as Superman?
Now, look, Mr. Corkins, I'm not...
Come now, Mr. Kent. I told you I had the goods on you, as you American chaps say. If you'll come up to my hotel suite, I'll show you enlarged, detailed photographs of yourself and Superman.
Really?
Yes. I'll show you plaster models made from those photographs, showing your identical measurements between the eyes, the identical lines of the nose and ears and mouth.
Well,
I'll show you a cast of Superman's footprint, the only one in existence.
I'd like to see that stuff, Mr. Corkins. I'm sure I'd find it very interesting.
Believe me, you would.
And amusing. But some other time, perhaps. Right now I have work to do. Take my word for it, you're wasting your time. Forget it.
I've never wasted my time before, Mr. Kent. I'm so certain I'm right that I came all the way over here from England to prove it.
Oh? And how do you propose to do that?
I've arranged a little test for you.
A test? You mean you want me to jump off the insurance building observation tower, for instance, to see if I bounce?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. This is a very simple test. It won't take more than a few seconds, and it'll prove without doubt that you are or are not Superman. What say? Are you game?
Well, look, as I told you before, Mr. Corkins, I consider this a waste of time. And since I'm very busy, I'm afraid I must...
I knew I was right.
What?
I must be, since you're afraid to make the test.
Oh, I'm not afraid at all, but I don't think...
It appears that you are, Mr. Kent. And that satisfies me. I told you that if you cooperated with me, I would respect your secret as long as possible.
But
since you refuse, I consider myself at liberty to publish a report of my findings in book form.
Book?
a leading British publisher who has a large branch here in Metropolis, is very eager to publish my book.
Wait a minute. You can't do that. You
Then
can't.
submit to my little test.
Now, look, I haven't time, and besides,
I assure you it'll take only a few seconds. And since you say you must get back to your office, we can make the test there.
Oh, but it's too silly.
Now, look here, old chap. I'll make a bargain with you.
A bargain?
Yes. Submit to my little test. If you're not Superman, as you would have me believe, you have nothing to fear. But if you are Superman, well, I'll agree not to publish my book for at least 5 years. How does that strike you?
What is the test?
I can't tell you until we're ready to make it.
And you want to make this test in my office?
Righto. Well, what do you say?
All right, Mr. Calkins. I agree. Come to my office. His square bulldog face beaming, the famous Scotland Yard detective accompanies a deeply worried Clark Kent from the restaurant. What is the test he has prepared for Kent? We'll know in a moment when we return for the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
Well, here we go, gang, off to a nifty start. Monday's the day we give out with a brand new pep dish of the week. And take it from me, this one's an SDD, a super delish dish for breakfast. It's called a Pep Double Scoop. And it goes like this. You pour your portion of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal, in your bowl, scoop out a hollow on each side, and fill in with juicy red raspberries. Add milk and sugar, and then let yourselves go. Honest, this Pep Double Scoop is a regular scooper-duper. Tomorrow at breakfast, you'll say, "Is this good? Wasn't it?" That's how fast you'll make it disappear. Just wait till you see what those crisp flakes of Kellogg's Pep do for the ripe red raspberries. A combination that's really slick and then some. And it's always that way with Pep, no matter how you serve it. Pep's sunshine flavor and golden toasted goodness are just naturally terrific. Bet you can't help eating every last bit in your bowl. And a good thing that is, especially nowadays when we're sending the cereal grains to fellows and girls across the seas. Keep that in mind, gang, when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Handle the package carefully if you pour your own Pep, and eat up every bit you pour out. Remember, eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Clark Kent and Herbert Calkins, famous Scotland Yard detective, have returned to the Daily Planet, where the staff is working overtime to publish a special edition. Following Kent into his office, Calkins closes the door carefully, then produces a small cylindrical tube and a tiny glass vial from his pocket.
Now, Mr. Kent, the test which will determine whether you are or are not Superman. Here.
What's this?
This little cylinder contains a sterilized needle.
Needle? What are you going to do with...
I want to prick your finger with this needle.
What?
If I can puncture your skin and draw blood, it will prove that you are not Superman. Because Superman is known to have impenetrable skin.
Oh.
But if I cannot puncture your skin, then I'll prove what I'm sure is true, that you are Superman.
Great Scott.
Come, Mr. Kent. Hold out your hand.
But, wait,
Your hand, please, Mr. Kent.
His mind racing desperately like a squirrel on a treadmill, Clark Kent hesitates, seeking some way out of this trap. For as he well knows, his skin cannot be punctured. How can Kent escape revealing the truth of his double identity to the astute master detective from Scotland Yard? Is his carefully guarded secret about to be revealed at last? Tomorrow's episode will keep you on the edges of your chairs, gang, as Superman matches wits with the cleverest opponent he has ever faced. So be sure to tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep. For excitement, the adventures of Superman. You know, gang, famous names make history. And Kellogg, the greatest name in cereals, has made history with good breakfast eating for a long time. For example, Kellogg shredded wheat. So crisp, so toasty, so delicious. Tender, plump biscuits, 15 of them to a package. That's 15 biscuits crammed with their own natural nut-sweet flavor and made just the right size to fit the bowl. And remember, this is whole wheat, so it's good for you, too. Ask Mom for Kellogg shredded wheat. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape. Escape,
designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are at the end of a journey you committed murder to make. A barren wasteland of India, silent, desolate, where there is a cave and a carved image of the goddess Kali, whose heart is a ruby big as a grenade, and which is guarded by a smiling old man from whom there is no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you Ross Murray's story, The Heart of Kali.
It's been a long time. Exactly how long, I don't know. The years pile up and it's hard to remember. But the beginning is easy. The beginning was a bar on the San Francisco waterfront early in 1946. Anton Korchak, owner of the Sea Nest, had put a new bartender on, and I waited a week before I made my pitch. It got a reaction. Funny way?
Kills me.
Well, I'm telling you it's true.
Kid, if I believed every story about an idol with a ruby for a heart, I'd think I'm out of my mind.
Now listen, all I need's a few $100.
Oh, you listen. Every waterfront bum comes in here has got a dream to hawk. I sell for a beer. You want a few $100.
Yeah, but it's true, I tell you. This ruby's as big as a hand grenade, and it's there for the taking.
Now, why didn't you take it when you had the chance, Danny?
Had to get out of the cave when I heard my patrol start shooting. What good was a ruby in my pocket and a Jap bullet in my back?
Look, nobody told you to come back to the States when you got mustered out either, did they?
Couldn't help it, Whitey. I got malaria. They shipped me out of India before the war ended.
Well, it was 2 years ago. How do you know the ruby's still there?
I know it is. It's in the temple. All I have to do is... What's the matter?
What do you suppose all them swamis around the temple are going to be doing while you grab the ruby? Clap hands?
Yeah, but the only one near the idol's an old man. He's just sitting there looking at it. Now, Whitey, it's a cinch, honest. Come on, invest $500, get back maybe $100,000.
Beat it, kid. I got work to do.
Whitey.
Me and the sawed-off ball bat, Danny. I'll beat it.
Got a light, mister?
Oh, well, sure, mate. Here you are.
Thanks. You an A.B.?
Me? No, why?
Hey, you're standing in front of the old tub here, and I figured you were maybe looking to be signed on.
No, I wasn't.
She's heading out in a half hour. Stick around. Maybe somebody won't show.
Yeah? Where's she headed for?
Other side of the world. India.
India,
Yeah.
huh? Calcutta?
No, Kanpur.
Where's that?
100 miles east.
Oh. You sure they're signed up full?
Yeah. You want to go?
Yeah, I want to go.
We'll take a passenger.
How much?
150.
With grub?
Captain's table for 175. Forecastle grub for 150.
Okay. When are you leaving?
As soon as the first and the engineer come aboard.
When's that?
When they can't afford any more beer.
How much is that in time?
I told you.
You told a stranger, mister. Now maybe you're telling a passenger.
Half an hour the most. Captain don't like to wait.
They won't have to. I'll be back. I started back for the Sea Nest. Somebody had to listen to me. The ruby, the heart of Kali, it beat inside me like it was my own. I knew I'd do anything to get my hands on it. I'd found the way to get to India. And now all I needed was the money to buy it. It was only a few minutes before closing when I got there. Whitey was mopping up the bar, and the place was empty. Hey, Whitey.
Bar's closed, kid.
I don't want to drink. Come here. I got something to tell you.
What's on your mind?
Whitey, I can get passage to India. All I need's $100.50.
Beat it.
Where's Mr. Korchak?
Back room checking receipts. Why? No. You can't go back there, Danny.
Get your hands off. If you try to stop me, Whitey, I'll kill you.
Go on in, kid.
Come in.
Can I see you for a minute, Mr. Korchak?
What do you want, Danny?
Look, Mr. Korchak, I'll make it fast. You know about me being in Burma, that ruby I saw there.
My bartender told me.
Well, it's the truth. Whitey knows that I saw it. And
Leaving now, Mr. K. Everything's locked up for the night.
Okay. Good night, Whitey.
Night, Danny.
What do you want from me, Danny?
Listen, Mr. Korchak, all I need's $150. I can get passage to India for that. It's only $100.50. Now, please, Mr. Korchak,
don't ask for money, Danny. A beer, maybe, but cash, no.
Mr. Korchak...
Get lost, kid.
But the boat leaves...
I said get lost, kid.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Danny...
Listen to me! I'll make you rich for a lousy $100.50.
Get out. Get out of my place. You come in here again, I throw you to the seagulls.
$100.50, Korchak. You're going to give it to me?
Yeah, I guess I got to make you believe me.
You shouldn't have done that, Korchak.
Yeah.
Now, I got to twist this around in you.
You try it, Danny, and you're going to...
You should have given me that dough. It's a lot cheaper than dying.
You're just in time. We're shoving off.
I told you I'd be back, didn't I?
That's what a lot of them say.
Okay, let's go.
Hold on, matey.
What's the matter?
Let's see the color of your money.
Money, yeah. Here.
Got a live one. Must be close to... How much in that bundle?
Look.
Price just went up to 2.5 with folks who'll grub.
Hey, what are you trying to do to me?
That's the price. Take it or no.
Well, let me see the captain.
You're looking at him, boy. I'm the captain. $250.
Okay. $250. Let's go.
Climb aboard. Next stop, Kanpur.
You Mr. Macon?
Yes?
Captain of the Paxton told me to come and see you. Said he could find me a small boat and a guide.
I can. When do you wish these things?
As soon as possible.
Where do you wish to go?
You know where Tinsukia is?
Macon knows India well.
Oh, what's the best way to go?
Your boat will take you north up the Brahmaputra River. Then you will go overland west to Tinsukia.
Yeah, how long will that take?
I should say 2 weeks.
Okay, let's get going.
All charges are in advance.
How much?
$500 American.
I don't have that much.
How much have you?
$300.
Please, do not lie to me.
300.
Captain Evans of the Paxton has already notified me that you have at least 400.
I don't.
Then how much?
350. You take it or I shop around?
Be back here tomorrow morning, and I will take you to your boat.
And what about my guy?
He will be there.
You better be.
Good day.
I was there the next morning. We went to the boat I'd rented. It wasn't much, but I took it. Subhas, my guide, got her wound up, and we started upriver for Tinsukia. Up till the time we left, Macon tried to find out why I wanted to go there. I told him nothing. On the 5th day out of Shanpur, Subhas, who hadn't said a dozen words to me in all that time, came back to the stern of the boat and sat down beside me.
Sahib?
Yeah?
Why are you making this trip?
Macon asked you to find out?
No, Sahib, I ask for myself.
Why?
Because I do not wish evil to happen to you.
Thanks.
But it will happen to you.
How do you know?
Makan wishes it so.
Why?
He says you have much gold buried near Tinsukia.
He's crazy.
Is he?
Yep.
Then why did he instruct me to kill you when you find it?
What?
The truth, Sahib, I'm to kill you when you find the gold.
Subhas, let me tell you something. I'm not looking for gold.
Oh, I'm glad you're not looking for gold. I would not like to kill you.
Subhas.
Yes, Sahib, Gandhi.
How much longer?
Oh, we will be on the river 2 more days, and we will go on land to Tinsukia.
Well, I don't want to go to Tinsukia.
Oh, where?
I want to go 10 miles or so northwest.
Oh, what is there?
Well, there was a big army camp there during the war. You remember it?
Oh, yes, I was the guide then, too.
Well, you take me there, huh?
Yes.
It was after my outfit came over the Pangsop Pass out of Burma that I found the temple of Kali. Then we'd moved on to Tinsukia. All I wanted was to get to the site of the old army camp. I could make it from there on my own. But the closer I got to the heart of Kali, the crazier I got. Nothing mattered anymore, what I had to do or who I had to kill to get what I wanted. We finished the trip upriver and started overland. It was rough, jungle and rain, the old malaria kicking it up. 5 days later, we were on the site of the old army camp. This is far enough, Subhas.
But there's nothing here.
There's enough. This is as far as we're going.
Then we shall rest before we return.
I'm not going back.
Then what are we...
I got to do the rest of this alone, Subhas.
You have no need for the gun. I know nothing of what you do.
No, but you would if you stayed with me any longer.
But I don't know.
I left him there, and I walked on for another half a day, and then just as I'd remembered it, a cave opening almost hidden by scrub on the far side of a small clearing. I went in, and I saw it again. At the far end of the cave, the idol Kali. And in the flickering light of the lamp, its heart. I moved closer to it. And then I saw him, the same little old man I'd seen 2 years before, in that same attitude of prayer. I moved again, and he sat there, hardly seeming to breathe. And then I was ready. I ran toward the idol, my hands reaching for the ruby. And then the ground opened beneath me, and I fell. 1,000 hands clawed at me, held me, struck at me. And above, the heart of Kali shone scarlet. I don't know how long I fought them, but the time came when I couldn't fight anymore. And so I quit and let whatever it was drift over me. When I came to, he was standing at the foot of the straw pallet I was on. He was tall, gaunt, dressed in a ceremonial robe that reached to the floor.
I am Adram, the elder sannyasi of the Temple of Kali. Your name is Daniel Karlin, I believe.
Yeah, how do you know mine?
Your wallet. Your papers of identification, your money, they are all there beside you.
Look, about that ruby.
There is no need for you to explain, Mr. Carlin. I am aware of your emotion concerning the ruby. Our emotion, on the other hand, the emotion of my people, has its roots in religious beliefs, in the beauty of life.
Get to the point.
The point?
Yeah, stop playing cat and mouse with me. If you're going to kill me, do it. Get it over with. If it's torture you got in mind, then you shouldn't have let me live. Because I'm not having any. Marty, c'est là. Listen, you kill me if you want, but no torture. You kill me, but kill me fast.
Oh, no, my friend. We will do you no further harm. There will be no more violence done. Release him.
What are you going to do to me?
We wish to honor you.
You what?
I said you are to be honored. Listen. There is already music that you are here. And tonight we have a bata feast, the feast of the reward, and you will be the honored guest at that feast.
But why reward me?
To prove to you that we have no hatred for him who desires the heart of Kali.
What is the reward?
You will know at the moment of bestowal.
Reward? Something I can take with me when I leave?
The emotion again concerning the ruby.
You just said you don't hate me for it.
No. Come, I will show you the place of the feast. This is the feasting hall where you will be the honored guest tonight.
Adram.
Yes.
How do I know for sure that I won't end up on that altar there? One of your people standing over me, ready to start butchering?
You have my words.
How do I know that's enough?
Why do you torment yourself, my friend? Had I wished it, you could have been a sacrificial lamb long before this.
I want to see the old man that sits in front of the idol.
You will see him tonight.
Hey, who is he in this setup?
You will know tonight. Now, I think you had better go back to your room, lie down, and wait.
No.
Are you afraid?
Yeah, I am.
Believe me when I say your life is precious to us now.
Doubt that.
Do not. I speak the truth.
That's the trouble. I get the feeling I'd be better off if you lied to me.
Go. Rest for the feast.
I went back to my straw mat and I laid down. But the fear wouldn't go. There was a catch in this whole operation. I couldn't nail it down. Adram was convincing, but I'd heard too much about the followers of Kali to believe him. His attitude of nonviolence had a false spot somewhere. I couldn't find it. I knew that I had to get out of the temple before the feast started, but there was only one way in or out, and that was through the cave and over the trap door in front of the idol. Someone had to trip the door physically before it could fall open. I decided to make my exit look legitimate by taking somebody with me. Pani, Adram's assistant, was standing guard outside my cubicle. I picked him. Pani, come here. Come here, quick.
What is it? What is wrong?
Come here. Look, help me up. It's my back.
The fall. Perhaps the fall could have twisted you.
Move or I'll break your... No! Once more, I'll kill you. No. Where'd they put my gun when they brought me here? Where?
It is here in this room.
Huh?
In the plaque you wore when you arrived. It is there in the corner.
Okay. Move. What do you know?
What are you going to do?
I'm leaving. You're going with me for a while for insurance.
Very well.
Aren't you going to give me any argument?
It is the wish of Adram that I do your bidding.
Okay. No, wait a minute.
Have you changed your mind?
No, I'm just going to check this gun. You're too happy about this whole thing. Clip's still full. I thought maybe you... No, he's right about this whole setup. Let's get going.
But Adram...
Just in case you don't know it, this 45 can put a hole in you as big as a fist. Now move. Where are we now?
We are behind the idol.
Wait a minute. What about the old man?
He will not speak to us nor attempt to stop us.
How do you know?
I know.
Okay. Well, let's move. Remember, if that trap door opens, you get dead. So no signals, huh?
No.
Wait a minute.
What is wrong?
As long as I'm getting out like this, I might as well get what I came for.
The heart of Kali?
Yeah. Now, back toward it. I got it. Now, start walking. Like you're leading me out. I'll kill you if you hesitate for a second, you understand?
I understand.
Then get going.
My friend, the butter feast is almost at an end, and yet not one morsel of food has passed your lips.
I'm not hungry.
Are you afraid you will be poisoned?
Yeah.
I will be your taster if you wish.
Adram, why didn't you kill me for trying to escape?
Because your attempt was a normal reaction. You harmed no one.
Oh, but I tried.
But you had provocation. Man always lashes out at the unknown. It is to be expected.
Yeah, but I had that trap door open as soon as Pani stepped off it. Who knew that I wasn't supposed to leave?
The old man who sits near the idol.
But I looked at him as I passed by. He just sits there. Looks at the idol. He doesn't seem to know what's going on around him.
He is aware of only two things in life. The heart of Kali and the Bata feast. He knew of the feast, and he knew that if you left, there would be none. Therefore, you are the only excuse for living that he has.
Still don't understand.
You will. The music has ended. Now, the ceremony of the reward will begin.
Adram,
set your mind at ease, my friend. No physical violence will be inflicted upon you.
But Adram, I have a question.
What is it, my friend?
Has anybody else ever tried to steal the ruby?
That is an intelligent question.
Yeah.
I will answer it when the time comes.
Well, why not answer it now?
I will answer it in a moment. Remember what I once said to you. Your life is precious to us. Advance, guardian of the heart of Kali.
The little old man.
You asked before whether anyone else had tried to steal the heart of Kali. The answer, my friend, is yes. Almost 45 years ago, it was attempted. At that time, we also had a Bata feast, the feast of the reward.
Adam, listen to me.
And in keeping with the laws of the temple, the thief received the reward which he now entrusts to you, the right to possess the heart which he so desired.
No, I don't want it.
For 40 years, the old man has been guardian of the heart. For 40 years, he has waited for one to love the heart as he did. Now, he will surrender it to you.
No, I don't want...
We greet you, guardian of the heart. From this day to the next feast of the reward, may you be close to and love that heart which shall be before you. Hail, the new guardian.
How long ago was that? How many years? How many lifetimes? I don't even look at the ruby anymore. All I know is I've got my hand on the trapdoor switch, and somebody has to walk across it someday. Why not you? Oh, that ruby, that red heart. It's yours. It's as big as a grenade, and it's yours. Take it. Come and take it. Please. Please, somebody, come and get me. Please.
Under the direction of David Friedkin and Morton Fine, Escape has brought you The Heart of Collie, a story by Ross Murray. Featured in the cast were Paul Richards and Edgar Barrier. Also heard were Jack Crucian, Clayton Post, Lou Merrill, Herb Butterfield, Lou Krugman, and Paul Freese. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week. That's right, Gunsmoke. Now a word from William Conrad, who many of you know as Marshal Matt Dillon of Dodge City.
Thank you, George. You know, today marks the last of the current series of Escape programs, and I know you will miss it as much as I shall. However, I would like to think that all of you who have listened to Escape these many months will now be able to take your pleasure in listening to Gunsmoke. Yes, starting next week, Gunsmoke will come to you on a new day at a new time. Chester, Doc, Kitty, and I, together with all of our strong-minded, brawling, hard-living citizens of Dodge, will come to you next Saturday, October the 2nd. So, goodbye for Escape. And we hope you'll all tune in to your local CBS radio station next Saturday, October 2nd, for Gunsmoke. Until then, thank you, and good night.
Thank you, Bill. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. Meet Corliss Archer for Monday Night Merriment on the CBS Radio Network.
And Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy, dressed as prospectors, are tramping across the great Martian desert toward Polidor's hideout.
We're getting closer. That must be the hideout right over that dune. We can't expect to sneak up and surprise him. The best we can hope for is that we can get close before he recognizes us. Uh-oh. I see him, Hap. He sees us. Let's keep walking. I can't tell whether it's Polidor or not, but he's got a gun.
Halt! What do you want?
Our car is back in the desert about 2 miles.
That's too bad. But you won't need it anymore.
Look out, Happy. He's got a blast gun.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Trial by Terror. Gang, here's a scene I like to see in every Space Patroller's kitchen when I tune in my viewscope at breakfast time. It looks something like this. A big bowl on the table, a spoon, and next to the bowl and spoon, a red and white checkerboard package of rice checks. Then into the bowl goes the rice checks. Then cream and sugar, and sometimes fresh fruit. And now it's time to dig in
And man, oh man, digging into that bowl of rice checks is just like digging into a bowl full of sunshine. Golden shredded rice biscuits, triple oven toasted, till they're crisp as a cookie and 3 times as tasty. Tops for taste, you bet. Tops for size, too. Made in that modern bite-sized design for slick and easy eating. And Rice Chex is tops for get up and go. After a good, nourishing breakfast with Rice Chex, you're full of the same super-powered get up and go that Commander Corey starts off his day with. So, Space Patrollers, the next time I tune in my viewscope at breakfast time, I want to see you eating Rice Chex. And if you're a whole wheat fan, try Wheat Chex. Remember, Chex are tops 3 ways for taste, size, and get up and go. In the red and white checkerboard packages with the big full-color picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside and the wonderful free Space Patrol trading card on the inside. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. And now today's Space Patrol adventure, Trial by Terror. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are maintaining an all-night vigil in Room 27 of the Space Patrol Security Lab. Room 27 houses an array of electronics equipment known officially as the Terra Internal Protective Alarm Coordinator, but usually referred to as the Crime Track. The complex device is connected to hundreds of key points on the man-made planet Terra, banks, government offices, and laboratories. Its sensitive detection instruments are ready to report any attempt at forced entry, unusual movement, or outbreak of fire at any of these crucial locations. For hours now, the row of viewscope screens have remained dark. Unbroken rows of small green lights indicate the system is in operation in all circuits. Bored by the uneventful hours of waiting, Happy stands up and stretches.
It looks like that tip on Polidor was false, sir. Unless he managed to break into the vault without setting off an alarm.
Not even he could do that. The vault at Tri-Planet Construction Company is equipped with nearly every known detection device.
Polidor must know that.
Yes, there's a good chance he also knows that there are 2 million credits in the vault. It's a tempting haul.
He's sure running an awful risk.
His men are. You can be sure that Polidor himself is playing it safe.
Sir, would it be all right if I skip down to the commissary for another glass of milk?
Wait till Lieutenant Callan gets back, huh?
Yes, sir. Well, I sure wouldn't want his job. Imagine having to watch these panels 6 hours a day and nothing ever happens. Uh-oh, I spoke too soon.
Check the panel, Hap.
Hey, it looks like that tip was on the level after all.
Hey, wait a minute. That alarm isn't from the Tri-Planet vault. Their light's still green. What's the number under the red light?
49, sir.
49. That's Universal Map and Chart Company.
Polidor's mob wouldn't be pulling that job.
Hey, Lieutenant Callan, you're at the local... Hap, something's wrong with the time track.
Hey, there must be a short circuit. Smoke's just pouring out of the panel. Smoke and rockets, the central panel blew up.
Every circuit's dead.
Wow, with the alarm system out, every bank on Terra could be robbed.
Now get Lieutenant Callan. I'll space phone our patrol cars to close in on Tri-Planet and the Map Company.
Less than a mile from Space Patrol headquarters, a small surface truck pulls up to the rear of the Zenith Microfilm Laboratory building. A man leaps from the truck, grabs a large case, and enters the building. Then, taking a heavy metal bar, he scrapes it across the floor. A section of the flooring swings upward, held against the metal bar by the pull of a magnet on the underside of the trap door. Placing the case down in the opening, the man closes the trap door and walks to a spaceophone transmitter.
Bram's laser at Station 5 Terra calling Polidor. Bram's laser calling Polidor.
Polidor here. Go ahead, Slazer.
Arning and I got the credits.
Excellent. Any trouble?
Not in the Tri-Planet vault, but we were nearly stopped by a Space Patrol surface car during the getaway. There were patrol cars all around the Tri-Planet building.
There may have been some sort of leak. But we won't worry about that now that you got the 2 million credits.
When do Harning and I blast off?
Both of you remain on Terra until further orders. Lie low for a couple of days.
Now, but Polidor, the original agreement was that we were to deliver the credits to you right away and get paid off.
You'll be running a risk if you try to take that money off of Terra now. In a day or two, I will provide a distraction.
What do you mean, distraction?
Something will happen to one of the big cities on Mars. A disaster so terrible that Corey will forget all about those 2 million credits.
Now, what's going to happen? I
want it to be a surprise. You and Harnong stay on Terra and keep out of trouble. Polidor out.
Boz and Happy have just returned to the commander's central office at Space Patrol headquarters after examining the vault at the Tri-Planet Construction Company building.
Wow. 2 million credits gone, and not a single clue. Polidor did it again?
He got away with the theft, but we'll have some clues when he tries to put that money into circulation.
What do you mean, sir? Checking the serial numbers?
That'd be difficult. The money was in fairly small bills. But they're impregnated with radioactive carbon particles. Within a few hours, every bank in the solar system will be supplied with radiation detectors.
Then when anyone passes any of that money across the counter, he'll be nabbed.
No. A Space Patrol agent will be put on his trail. The person actually passing the money might be entirely innocent. It'll take a lot of quiet investigation, but eventually we'll trace the money back to its original source, to one of Polidor's men.
That could take weeks.
Maybe months, unless Polidor's short of operating cash.
If we could only find out who tipped us off.
The lab experts have examined the damage of the crime trap in room 27. Somehow, one of Polidor's men bridged a small explosive device across one of the circuits in the main control.
Well, right here in headquarters.
The attempt to break into the map company had just one purpose, to set off an alarm in the coordinator system. And that triggered the explosive that blew out the master control.
And prevented the alarm in the tri-planet vault from registering.
Right. Polidor had both jobs timed to the split second.
Well, the biggest mystery right now is who tampered with the control panel in room 27.
That part isn't a mystery, Hap. One of the maintenance men was in there yesterday. He didn't show up for duty today, and he can't be located.
If we could only find him and give him a brainograph test.
That wouldn't help much. You know how Polidor works. His men know only their own phase of the job, nothing about anything higher up. Now get it. Corey here.
Commander, this is Special Agent Parker. Some of that tri-planet money's already in circulation.
Interesting. Polidor's trying to unload it fast, huh?
Yeah, tell her at the Terra Bank was handed a 100-credit note. Was as radioactive as Madame Curie's floor mop.
Have you traced the bill?
The teller told me that was passed by a fellow that works for Zenith Microfilm Lab. His name's Harnum. Want me to follow up on it, Commander?
Find out all you can about the microfilm lab, but indirectly. Check on their employees, who owns it, and who their clients are.
Yes, sir.
Where is this outfit?
467 Orion.
Keep working undercover, Parker. I'll check on Harnum. Corey out.
Say, this Zenith outfit is really sharp. Look at their sign. An elephant never forgets. Neither does Zenith Microfilm, and it takes less space.
Clever. And below it, our clients are protected by Typac.
Hey, they're closed.
There's a light on inside.
Somebody's coming.
Have to keep that radiation detector out of sight. While I'm talking to this fellow, you wander around the plant.
A little private snooping, huh?
Make it obvious youthful curiosity. Walk close to their files, but be interested in their lab equipment.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I was about to say we're closed for business, but of course that doesn't apply to the Space Patrol.
I'm looking for Mr. Harnung.
Oh, I'm Harnung. What can I do for you?
I'd like to ask you a few routine questions inside, if you don't mind.
Of course. Come in, gentlemen. Sit down. I was just checking through some orders. Got a few rush shipments I want to get out tonight.
I'll go right ahead. We can talk as you work.
Thank you.
Hey, you've sure got a lot of swell equipment here.
You better not touch anything, Happy. You might upset some delicate adjustments.
Yes, sir.
No, he can't have heard anything. Now, what was it, Commander?
You visited the Terra Bank this morning, is that right?
Yeah. On some business for the firm.
You gave the teller a 100-credit note.
Don't tell me it wasn't any good.
No, it was good, all right. I'd just like to know where you got it.
I'm afraid I can't tell you, Commander.
You mean you get so many 100-credit bills you can't remember?
I wish that were true. No, what I mean is I wasn't in the office when the bill came in. Perhaps Mr. Ogilvy could help you. He's our bookkeeper. I could tell you where he lives.
Oh, fine. You can give me his address later.
Say, is it all right if I go back here?
Huh? Oh, the processing lab? Yeah, of course. Make yourself at home.
Now, don't disturb anything, Happy.
All right, Commander.
Now, Mr. Harnung, when would this 100-credit bill have come in?
Well, I don't know. Possibly late yesterday. This morning, our petty cash was low, so I took the bill to the bank to get it changed. As I say, if you go and talk to Ogilvy...
I'll do that. I noticed you're protected by Terra Internal Alarm Coordinator Service. Do you often have material here that would tempt burglars?
Well, Commander, frankly, we don't need the service, but it looks good on our advertising. You and I know that no burglar's going to waste his time and run the risk of breaking into a place like this.
Excuse me, Commander.
Yes, Happy?
Something very interesting back in the lab.
Oh?
Well, things are really clicking.
Harnung, before you give me your bookkeeper's address, I'd like to see the rest of your plant.
Yeah, of course. Now, over here's our display room where we show the client samples of...
I'd like to see the lab first.
There's something radioactive under the floor of the lab, sir.
Okay, Hap. Come on, Harnung. I'm sure we'll need your explanation of some of the lab equipment.
That's just like any commercial microfilm lab, Commander. Nothing you gentlemen wouldn't understand.
You never can tell. There are tricks to every trade.
Here's the spot, Commander. Listen to the detector. Now watch what happens when I put it down on the floor.
What's under this flooring, Harnum? I don't know.
If you look close, Commander, you can make out very fine cracks in the floor in the form of a square, like a closely fitted trap door.
Yes, I see. Open it up, Harnum. Look, I don't know what you're talking about. By the way that detector's clicking, I'd say there's about 2 million credits worth of radioactivity under this floor.
If I can find something sharp, maybe I can pry it open, sir. Oh, I know, that metal bar. Hey, that's funny. It was right over there under the window, on top of a packing case. It looked like a crowbar. Yeah, but where did it go?
Here it is, Cadet. Oh, I got Corey. Hold it. No, you don't, Harnum. Nice going, Slazer.
You couldn't wait to dip into that 2 million credits.
How about Slazer? We were broke. How did I know?
Shut up. Take this bar and open the trapdoor. While you're loading the money in the surface car, I'll make sure that Corey and the cadet are out of the way for good.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
This is Dick Tufeld in St. Louis reporting on the twin-jet Air Force fighter, the McDonnell Voodoo XF-88A. In a moment, we'll hear from the noted test pilot who flies this plane, Phil Houghton. Speed of the Voodoo is a military secret, but it's plenty fast. Wingspan is 40 feet, length 55, weight 10 tons. And now, Phil Houghton recorded at Lambert Airfield.
After seeing the Voodoo, I guess you know why I like my job. There's one thing about it, though. The test pilot has to stay in good condition, get lots of sleep, and eat good, healthy food. That's why I like rice checks and wheat checks for breakfast. They've got plenty of energy in them, and they really taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
Make sure you stay in condition the way Phil Houghton, J. Ray Donahue, Jr., and other top test pilots do. Every morning, eat a good, nourishing breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks, the cereals that are tops 3 ways. Tops for taste, for size, and for real get-up and go. That's Chex, rice or wheat. Remember, they're tops with America's top pilots.
And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, Trial by Terror. Using a radiation detector, Buzz and Happy have discovered the hiding place of 2 million stolen credits in a microfilm laboratory used as a front by 2 members of Polidor's gang. While the Space Patrollers were busy with Harnung, the other criminal Slazer emerged from hiding and knocked out the Commander and Happy before they could defend themselves. Right now, while Harnung removes the stolen money to a surface car, Slazer grips a metal bar as Buzz dazedly raises his head.
Don't try to get up, Corey. I can make it quick and painless for you and the cadet if you don't try to put up a fight.
How much is Polidor giving you out of that 2 million credits?
And what makes you think we're working for Polidor?
I've got the money in the car. What's taking you?
Hey, quiet, you fool. Don't stand in the door bellowing. Now, what is it?
Have you finished them yet?
Have a quick push against this stack of cases. Yes, sir.
Get out of here.
When they fall, they may break that
Sure,
window.
it's a thorough job. But this much
They're rocking, sir.
That
does it?
Hey,
what good do you think that's going to do you?
Window opens into the alley and it's deserted.
I realize that.
I'm just stalling. Get to work with that bar, Slazy.
Just a moment. I believe this plant's protected by Terra Internal Alarm Service.
What about it?
Oh, nothing. Except that in room 27 at Terra headquarters, a red light's flashing. In a few seconds, every patrol car in the district will be heading this way.
Slazer, he's right. Let's get out of here, quick.
Corey's bluffing. The master panel's out of commission.
We've got auxiliary units, you know. But of course, it's up to you. Polidor will be mighty grateful to you for getting rid of us at the cost of your own freedom.
Slazer, come on.
It would only take a second.
Every second counts. Throw that bar down and let's go.
All right. But there's one thing I'm going to do first. Smash this spacerphone.
That's enough. Come on.
Let's go. We'll lock him in.
Oh, that was close.
I'll give you a hand, Hap.
Oh, my head. Oh. I didn't know that master alarm panel was replaced so quickly. I'm surprised.
If it's working, I'm surprised. Slazer sure put that spacerphone out of order. I'll check the dials. Maybe I can find out what frequencies they've been using. Hap, get that bar and pry open the door.
Weakened and dazed by their treatment at the hands of Slazer and Harnung, it's several minutes before Buzz and Happy can wrench open the locked door of the microfilm lab. Hailing a patrol car, Buzz spacephones an alert at the Terra spaceport. Then he and Happy speed to headquarters to supervise the hunt for Slazer and Harnung. Right now, as Happy enters the commander's office after an errand to the security lab, Buzz adjusts a spacephone receiver.
The alarm coordinator panel is working now, Commander. Gee, if they'd only finished it a few minutes sooner, our alarm from the microfilm lab would have gone through.
Well, we've had a couple of good breaks, though, Hap. 3 of Polidor's chief agents have been picked up, 2 in Saturn City and 1 on Mercury.
Great. When we give him a brain graft test, maybe we can find out where Polidor is.
I know where he is.
What?
I've been monitoring the frequencies I found jotted down by Harnung and Slazer at the microfilm lab. I intercepted a call from Polidor, and communications got a fix on it.
Where is he?
On Mars. Approximately in the center of Sector K7 on the Great Martian Desert.
Well, then what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Polidor calling Station 7 Mercury. Polidor calling Station 7 Mercury. Station 7, I assume you are listening but cannot acknowledge. Disaster Plan C is now in effect. Repeat, Disaster Plan C is now in effect. Suspend operations until after Space Patrol sounds triple red. At approximately 1500 hours. Polidor out.
What's he talking about? Triple red is our... Commander, triple red is our code for a Mars emergency.
Exactly.
We'd better notify Mars Space Patrol where Polidor is.
They know, Hap. Getting Polidor might be simple, but it wouldn't necessarily stop this Disaster Plan C of his.
It sounds as though he's getting desperate.
Right. Gotta take him by surprise. He expects us to sound a triple red at about 1500 hours.
That would give us time to get to Mars, maybe with 2 hours to spare.
We'll need that time, Hap. Hundreds of lives, maybe thousands, depend on how we use those 2 hours.
In a skillfully camouflaged building in the great Martian desert, the master criminal Polidor counts through several huge stacks of credits, then glowers at the 2 men who sit silently in a corner.
You're 100 credits short of 2 million.
I explained that, Polidor. I needed money for expenses,
So you trotted right down to the Terra Bank with a radioactive 100-credit bill. I ought to cut your share in half.
But, Polidor, now we know those bills are radioactive. Otherwise, you might have circulated some yourself and got caught.
You have to admit it's right, Polidor.
What good is this money if we can't pass it?
That isn't awful. And maybe we can neutralize the radiation.
Yeah, that's true. Right now I have something more urgent to think about. The destruction of Lowell City.
What?
Lowell City?
Disaster Plan C, remember?
Well, what do we gain by that?
With a city in ruins, who is going to battle about you or me? The Space Patrol will have its hands full.
How are you going to do it?
It will be simple. Right now on Deimos, the outer moon of Mars, is a robot spaceship full of high explosives. I can control it from here, cause it to blast off, and set it on a vector that will send it crashing into Lowell City.
Isn't there some other way to save our skins? Destroying a whole city.
If you think of a method as effective, I'll consider it. In the meantime, follow orders. No one must interfere with my plan to destroy Lower City. Naturally, no ships can approach without warning. But an attack by land is another matter.
What are you worried about? This place is like a fort.
Yes, and forts have been known to fall even to a few men on foot. You two are going on patrol right now.
After a swift flight to Mars, Buzz and Happy set their spaceship down in the great Martian desert, miles from Polidor's hideout. Dressed as prospectors, they cover more miles in a battered desert-going surface car. Now, their faces and hands grimy with grease and dirt to hide their identity, they trudge onward through the cold Martian twilight.
Perhaps slow down. Let your shoulders slump. You'd be spotted as a space patroller from a mile away.
We're getting closer. That must be the hideout right over that dune.
Yeah, we can't expect to sneak up and surprise Polidor. The best we can hope for is to get close to him before he recognizes us.
Uh-oh. Look.
I see him, Hap. He sees us. Just keep walking.
What light there is behind him. I can't tell whether it's Polidor or not, but he's got a gun.
Halt! What do you want?
Our car is back in the desert about 2 miles.
That's too bad. But you won't need it anymore.
Drop Happy. He's got a blast gun.
I missed you on purpose. But if either of you makes a move, I'll let you have it.
It's Slazer.
Let him do all the talking. Well. On your feet, men, and keep your hands up. That's it. I'll just take your weapons. Thanks, Commander. Now yours, Cadet. You know, Polidor will be glad to see you. And I can finish what I started back on Terra. Now get moving. Go on in.
Who are these men?
Just a couple of prospectors. Prospecting for trouble.
Oh, Corey and the cadet. You're just in time to watch the destruction of Lowell City.
Lowell City?
So that's what you meant by Disaster Plan C.
Oh, so you intercepted one of my spaceophone messages. Yes, Commander. A few minutes ago, I launched a robot spaceship from the outer moon.
At 1500 hours, it will crash into the heart of Lowell City. It is now 14:55.
Polidor, what can you possibly gain by a thing like that?
I'm a hunted man, Commander. Even with you out of the way, your hounds of the law will be hot on my scent.
Well, do you think wrecking a city will make them stop hunting you?
No. But it will give me a breathing spell while the Space Patrol is evacuating the injured, caring for the homeless.
Why, you inhuman...
Careful, Commander. Slazer, cut on the viewscope. The large screen, if you will. Thank you. There. What you see there is the planet Mars as it looks from the nose port of a robot ship. Each second brings it closer to its target.
You've forgotten about space control. They'll detect it.
No, Cadet. In a moment, I will step into the next room where the control mechanism is. And at the proper time, I will change vector. Space control defenses will have no time to act.
Polidor, think of the helpless women and children in that city.
It is nearly time to change vector. Watch the screen, gentlemen. You will see Lowell City move from the right edge to the exact center. It will grow larger and larger. And when the screen goes blank... Stop him! Stop Corey! Corey, come out of there! Open this door! Laser, you and Harnung keep an eye on the cadet.
Sure we will.
Don't move, cadet. Harnung, cut on the intercom so Corey can hear me.
Okay. Look at the screen. Corey's changing the course of the robot ship.
Hooray, Commander, you did it. You saved Lowell City. Save your cheers, cadet. Commander, can you hear me?
Yes, Polidor, I hear you.
Open this door. If I have to break it down, I'll come in there with a blast gun.
Come ahead. Now I've got a blast gun, too. Now, what are you waiting for? You're 3-1 against me.
Harnung, Snazer, one of you go and get him.
You go in, Polidor. It's your idea.
You cowards. I'll fix him. Corey, you forget that we got the cadet out here. If you want to see him alive, surrender. Come out with your hands up and empty.
Smart thinking, Polidor. That'll get him.
How about it, Corey? Are you coming out, or do we shoot the cadet?
Don't let him bluff you, Commander. After he wrecks the city, he'll get us anyway.
Now, isn't the cadet heroic? Shut up, all of you. Well, Corey, I'm counting to 10.
While you're counting, look at the viewscope screen. What do you see?
You're heading the robot toward Mars.
That's right. Straight toward the center of Sector K7.
That's where we are. Corey, are you crazy? You blow us all up.
We gotta get in there and stop him. Change that control.
Now, listen, all of you. If I hear a shot, I'm going to smash this robot control. Nothing you can do will prevent that ship full of explosives from crashing.
Polidor, look at the screen. It's getting close. Let's get out of here.
You plan to destroy a city. That means you can't run far enough or fast enough to avoid that explosion.
Corey, listen to reason. Stop that thing. Change its course.
Not until you give Happy your weapons.
Listen. It's getting close. Polidor, give up.
Some big fools. We got 2 million credits here, and Corey's bluffing. He wouldn't dare let the ship crash here.
Oh, no?
It's right above us. Polidor, give up!
Yes, Polidor, surrender. I'll shoot you.
No, don't. You heard what Corey said. If he hears a shot, he'll smash the controls. All right, Corey, we'll surrender. Cadet, take our guns, quick. Please, just drop them.
How's it going out there, Hap?
I've got him covered, Commander. Hurry.
Please, change vector.
You may get up off your knees now, gentlemen. Well, I see everything's under control, huh? Yes, except Polidor and his pals are nearly passed out from fright. It's a shame, in a way. I know what you mean, Hap. I'd hope that... Hey, Polidor's going for a gun! Oh, no, he's not. Thanks, Polidor. I've been wanting to get that out of my system for a long time.
It's over. It's all over.
Good thinking. Polidor doesn't need a spaceship to fall on him. Or does he?
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Say, Space Patrollers, Commander Corey's been getting a lot of fan letters lately. Got a couple of them right here. And man, oh man, you should hear all the wonderful things Space Patrollers are saying about Chex. Listen, I'll quote you a few. Love those Chex. Best tasting cereals of all. And taste real George with fruit. Super swell with milk and sugar. Here's another good one. I like Chex because they're bite-sized. Take along a pocketful most every place I go. There you have it, gang, and that's just a few. But I know that you'll all like Chex. They're the tops in cereals, tops 3 ways. For taste, size, and get up and go.
Right, Captain Tufeld. Commander Corey here, Space Patrollers. Now, I want all of you to be Rice Chex, Wheat Chex fans like I am. So try 'em. Have yourself a good, nourishing breakfast with Chex. And I'm sure you'll agree, Chex are tops in cereals.
Gang, you heard what the commander said, and he's the #1 checks fan. So go get him today in the red and white checkerboard packages with the picture of the commander or Cadet Happy on the outside and the wonderful free Space Patrol trading card inside. Rice checks, wheat checks, tops 3 ways for taste, for size, for get up and go. Now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are trying to escape from a mysterious underworld kingdom on Mercury. Suddenly, a robed figure steps before them.
Commander, it's Varg.
There is no use resisting. You will never leave this underground city.
What's going to stop us?
The sun. The precious sunlight you surface dwellers prize so much. It is pouring down into the shafts beneath you.
What's he talking about, Commander? The sun's heat here on Mercury is terrific. If it suddenly expands those pockets of frozen air, it'll blast these caverns wide open.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, Menace Under Mercury, when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Baylor Kovach, Norman Jolly, and Ken Mayer. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks present exciting action on Space Patrol. This program is broadcast for our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.